and welcome to the SciClones podcast, the podcast where two people who are not the same person talk about science fiction, fantasy, horror, etc. I am three dust mites, Annika.
I am Dalton.
Yep. And today we're going to be talking about The Call of Cthulhu by H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, sorry it's not more Peter Watts. Apparently we've turned everyone who watches this just wants more Peter Watts. We'll do it eventually.
Yes, I think we'll do the second book in the Starfish.
Eventually. But yeah, today we're looking at... Is called The Call of Cthulhu?
Yes.
Okay, because I didn't know, because... Does he ever say Cthulhu in the book?
He does, many times.
Okay. Well, I think it's just the guy who, I listened to the... What do you want to call it? Audiobook. And every time they said Cthulhu, they said it weird, so I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, actually, we can get into that later. Because I have the annotated version of the book, and they have a note on how Lovecraft wanted it to be pronounced.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Lovecraft, he was born in 1890 in Providence, Rhode Island, which is, I feel like, name another person that's famous that you know is from Rhode Island. Can't do it. It's impossible.
Yeah, I don't know.
No one else is from Rhode Island.
Except for this guy.
Yeah, and he passed away in 1937 at the age of 45.
46.
Math is hard. 46. And I didn't really know this before reading about him, but, he was, this writer and editor and stuff, but he didn't really make much money doing this, and he wasn't really well known for being a writer or anything when he was alive.
Yeah, he was pretty poor and not... He published a lot in, magazines, serial magazines.
Yeah, it was called Pulp Fiction, which is apparently, these pulp magazines where you would just publish fiction articles in them. But it wasn't that he was poor. His family was very rich.
True. He didn't make poor, money.
But he got to live in, a big house because his family was rich.
Yeah.
And we'll bring it up a little bit later, but this book deals with a lot of, people having visions and stuff. I don't know if that's related to what happened to his parents. I want to mention this because both his parents were institutionalized. It seems like his dad maybe died of syphilis, and that was the reason why he kind of went insane at the very end. And his mom died kind of in a similar way. I don't know if it was the same thing, but maybe some reason why he talked a lot about people having visions in this book here.
And also there's a theory that a lot of his books deal with a fear of degeneration or fear of madness and stuff. Maybe he was afraid that he was going to go the same way as his parents.
Which I don't think that's how he passed away. It seemed like he was afraid of doctors and was sick for a while, and then found out he had
tuberculosis or something.
Well, he had cancer in his lower intestine, and that's how he died. But he talked about he was friends with Harry Houdini and stuff.
He actually wrote a story featuring Houdini.
Yeah, and then Houdini died, I think, before he published it. Don't quote me on that.
Oh. So I think this is Lovecraft's, best known work. And a lot of people know Cthulhu, I think, without necessarily knowing where it came from or, what it is. It's in games and stuff.
I knew it mostly from the South Park episodes where BP, the oil company, drills too far down and they awaken Cthulhu. And then they used to be we're sorry. And then Cthulhu's just, destroying the world.
I would like it to be known that I do not watch South Park.
It's not that bad. She's just a hater.
Yeah.
Am I right, fellas?
So this story is kind of unique in that it's kind of a story in a story in a story, sort of. Because it starts off a guy is talking about his uncle, who was a very distinguished, professor, died mysteriously after being bumped by, and I quote, a nautical-looking Negro.
Yeah, so this, I don't want to give this guy an excuse because, this was the 1920s, so I don't know if people talk like that. But I think if he wrote stuff in 2020, he would also talk like this, just because of how he...
Yes,
because that's the very dark thing about H.P. Lovecraft is
he was very racist.
Yeah, and his whole thing about the West degenerating was mostly his fear of immigrants and others, and that is very prevalent in this story.
It is.
Starting with in this book, the character's great uncle, he's an archaeologist, or was it some anthropologist?
I think he was an anthropologist.
The first thing that happens is that he blames this immigrant bumping into him as killing him, even though he was a 92-year-old man.
Yes, but it does
seem like that's what happened.
That's what happened.
But he was racist about it.
Well, yes, he was very racist. He just was very scared of everything.
Of everything.
He
kind of seems like kind of a coward.
Well, I think there's a difference between being scared and being a coward.
I don't know. He was scared of people because of their race. That seems like a coward.
Fair enough. So, so the narrator, his great uncle died, and he's going through his stuff, and he finds a locked box that he gets the key from, a key ring that his great uncle always carried around in his pocket. And we open it up. There's some different papers, and there's also a clay bas relief, which is like a kind of a almost one-dimensional sculpture, sort of. So it's not like 3D, but it's kind of like 2D, of this creature, Cthulhu.
But we don't know it's Cthulhu.
We don't know it's Cthulhu, of just a creature. And then there's a paper, some stuff that his uncle wrote down, great uncle, I don't know, I keep calling him
We'll just call him his uncle, we get it.
Yeah, uncle, about how he obtained this bas relief.
Yeah, and it seems that, I can't remember is this the bit from chapter 2 about does he get this
this is
bas
from
relief?
The artist.
So he gets it from the artist.
Yeah.
Because later on we figure out that the uncle knows a little bit about what Wilcox, which is I think he's a painter, an architect, comes in and talks about how he's having all of these different dreams and visions, and he also makes is it a painting of this bas relief of this idol of Cthulhu, which we don't know right now, but we know later on that his uncle knows from a previous interaction with some people. We'll get to that later.
I think he gets this first.
No.
He doesn't get the bas relief first?
He gets the bas relief from Wilcox.
Oh, right,
and
yeah.
Then he flashes back in time to 1916 when whatever it was, where he talks to Legault.
Yes.
Right.
So basically this artist, Wilcox, there was like an earthquake, and then he starts having these like super weird dreams, and he makes this bas relief in like some fever dream type thing, and he brings it to the great uncle because he knows that he's like a renowned like anthropologist, like archaeologist, and he's like, what are these symbols that I carved here? Like, what does this mean? And the uncle's like, this is obviously not archaeological, it's new, but it troubles him because, yeah, like Dalton said, of a previous encounter with Legault.
Yeah, and I can't remember if the uncle or if the narrator kind of distrusts Wilcox, that he thinks that maybe Wilcox knows about this cult that the great uncle knows about, and is kind of like messing with this old man in his, like, you know, because he was like in his 90s, like kind of messing with him. But it later comes to find out that like Wilcox has no idea what was happening with these visions, and it seems that the uncle has been finding a lot of different newspaper clippings from around the world of different sort of situations happen around the same time. I want to say it's like, is it like April 1st or is it May 1st?
Yeah, it's like April-ish.
Yeah, that like all around the world at the same time, a lot of different people are getting these visions are, you know, jumping out of buildings. There's like uprisings in certain places. So it just seems like a lot of chaos is happening around the same time. Mm-hmm. So this is kind of, the uncle is really intrigued by this.
Yeah.
And this is kind of what our narrator is discovering. And he doesn't really know anything that's going on with this kind of stuff.
So it continues on. He learns about Inspector Legault, who is a police officer or police inspector, whatever, in Louisiana.
Yeah, and this is kind of this transition between the first chapter, where we're discovering all this information about Wilcox and things like this, into this kind of story within the story, where our narrator is learning more about Legault coming to... It was just like this gathering of anthropologists and archaeologists. I think he's an archaeologist, right?
Yeah.
In Louisiana, is it in Louisiana, or is he somewhere? Is he coming up to the northeast?
I think he comes from Louisiana.
Yeah, and it kind of telling about this whole situation that they had in the Bayou, where they had
cue the fiddle music, or not fiddles. What is it? Banjos. And
yeah,
stuff.
Banjo music.
Well, that's West Virginia. Georgia.
That was Georgia. I believe Deliverance took place in Georgia.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, he comes to them with the idol that Wilcox drew.
But it's not the same one.
It's not the same one, but it's
a
like
little sculpture.
It's a sculpture that Legault, I think that's his name, takes from this investigation that he has in Louisiana, and it's the same thing that Wilcox drew from his vision. So that's kind of why the great uncle knew that this had some sort of meaning, and he didn't really just toss Wilcox out from the beginning. And if you want to go into what the whole ordeal was in Louisiana.
Sure. So Legault is the inspector of police down there, and he gets some good old honest backwoods country settlers. I don't think I can do a Louisiana accent, but come up to him and are like, dude, there's like people out in the swamps that are kidnapping us and doing some sorts of freaky things. And so Legault takes some police officers into the swamp, like deep, deep into the swamp, and comes across this cult, the Cthulhu cult in Louisiana. And of course, Lovecraft points out they're mostly non-white.
Yeah, like Haitians and Africans and things like that.
Yeah.
And he like attributes it to like voodoo.
Yeah, they call it like a voodoo cult.
I guess bigger. I don't really know what voodoo means exactly.
It's like a Haitian religion.
Is it like, okay, because I think I know it mostly from, is it The Princess and the Frog?
Yeah.
Because that like there's voodoo
Louisiana.
there, but I don't actually know what it actually means. If it was real or if it was just like kind of a
no, it's still a thing.
Gotcha. I didn't know if it was like an actual religion, and then white people saw it and got scared, and they're like, "This is bad," or if it was like all kind of like, I don't know what's real about it, man. What is real? What is it even? What is life? You know? Wow. So
we're bringing up the deep questions here.
Mm-hmm. Anyways,
so the voodoo, he calls it a voodoo cult, but they're not really voodoo because they're Cthulhu, you know, different thing altogether. Mm-hmm. So they're dancing around this big monolith in the swamp, and on the top of the monolith is this little sculpture of this creature, the same one that Wilcox made a bas-relief of. So Legault does a bunch of arrests and
kills like 5 people.
Kills some of them, yeah.
Well, it's even like there's some sort of like the cultists are actually having some sort of power, because I believe like a few of the other police officers and settlers that come to like track down the people that got kidnapped are like fainting in the swamp and stuff, and like just getting close to it.
Yeah.
And if I remember right, there was kind of like they had a chant going on, but some of the big things from the chant you could take out was Cthulhu, and then how do you say it's like relay. Yeah. Right.
And actually, okay, I wanted to have us both try to pronounce what they're chanting in the swamp.
Oh boy, do you have the page number?
I do, yes. So it's this second to last paragraph.
Do you want to go first?
Oh, sure, I'll go first. So they're all dancing around the swamp, and this is what they are saying: Thungluid Ngulnaf Cthulhu Relay Wagan Golf Tagen.
Oh, I don't know what it was supposed to be, but that sounded pretty good.
Right,
what was
your
it?
Turn. It's right there.
Flingalith Malganacht Cthulhu Rialt Mac. Wow, that wasn't even close to any of the letters that were there. Wagalanak Futhanang. Okay, and then here's like the big one, right?
Well, this is what it means.
Yeah, in his house at Relay, dead Cthulhu waits dreaming.
I love that.
Which is, yeah, it's kind of cool.
It's kind of cool.
Like, I had no idea coming into this, because you've read Call of Cthulhu. This is the first time I read anything Lovecraft.
Yeah.
So I thought it was just, like, instantly, I thought it was, like, more of, like, a kaiju.
Oh.
Like Godzilla, like, Cthulhu comes out, and then, like, in the 1900s, they have to fight him. But, like...
No.
Yeah.
So, he kidnaps some people, and we sort of get...
The cultists, not Cthulhu.
Yes, the cultists, not Cthulhu. And one of them, this old man.
What was his name? It was something like Castro.
The old Castro tells them sort of what their cult's about. Mm-hmm. And so he says there are these great old ones, long ago, came out from space to Earth. And Cthulhu is sort of their emissary, and he's sort of one of them.
Oh. So he's not, like, the head honcho?
No.
Oh.
So actually, if we're getting technical here with Lovecraft, the great old ones aren't even, like, the top ones. They're the outer gods.
Okay.
So the outer gods are, like, above the great old ones. And then the great old ones. They're also the other gods.
Okay.
But those are different. And then there's, like, the earth gods.
Is there... Okay. I'm gonna make you mad. This sounds exactly like a bunch of lore from World of Warcraft.
Okay, well, Lovecraft was probably around
World of
Warcraft.
They have these old ones, like these old gods, and I think I've told you what the names are, but they're very like one's Cthulhu, one's Nathoth.
Mm-hmm, that's sort of like Azathoth.
Yogg-Saron.
Yogg-Sothoth.
And then what did I just say? Yogg-Saron?
Mm-hmm.
And then what is it? Cthulhu, Nathoth, Yogg-Saron, and Yashiraj.
That's funny. So those are...
There's like the same. And then one's literally just a big eyeball with tentacles.
Love it.
Isn't that what Cthulhu is supposed to be? Or is he more like a squid
No,
man?
he's like a squid man. Squid man dragon thing.
Anyways, I think continuing in chapter 2 is where... I don't know if we're missing anything with Legault, but it seems like the archaeologists don't really know what it is, for sure.
Yeah. Can I
go ahead.
circle back real quick to finish what Castro was telling me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the great old ones came down from the sky, and basically, for now, when the stars are not right, they sort of are in like this deathless stasis type thing down in this big city called Relay, which is where Cthulhu is. And when the stars are right again, their cult's gonna wake them up, and they're gonna, I think they said, like, help men to kill and revel and go mad.
Like debauchery.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. It doesn't sound too bad to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
yeah, and I think they also Castro mentions that like this cult has existed
forever,
since time.
Yeah,
since humans.
And there's
existed.
different ones. Like there's like they talk about like an Eskimo, which outdated term, Eskimo cult in Greenland, and like in Africa.
And I think like it's never been written down, but like the closest thing to it was the Necronomicon from like, does he say like Saudi Arabia or like the Middle East or something?
Yeah,
like that,
so
right?
it was like an Arab guy who wrote that.
Yeah, so
start in chapter 2 going back. So yeah, none of the archaeologists know what this thing is, but the great uncle is intrigued.
Yeah, and this is why like when Wilcox comes to him, he doesn't really toss him out immediately. And I think continuing in chapter 2 is when our narrator actually goes and visits Wilcox. And if I remember, I don't really remember what happens with their interaction, but coming out of it, the narrator is like, okay, Wilcox definitely did not know anything about this cult, and something somehow connected him to like this, you know, the stars kind of aligned where like I don't know if there's like a barrier between like the old ones and like humanity, like kind of melded together where he could have some of these visions.
Yeah.
And did they really say why Wilcox of all people?
I think
just because he's like
they
so
said
creative
he's very sensitive. He called himself like psychically sensitive. He's just, you know, he's weird.
Right. I think that is about it for chapter 2, which kind of brings us into the final part of the story, which is where we're kind of talking about, do you remember the name of the ship? I don't.
One is the Emma, and the other one is the Alert.
Right, and this is where our narrator finds this article about this ship off of New Zealand, I believe. Isn't it?
I don't know.
I thought it was New Zealand.
It might be New Zealand. It's sort of down in the Pacific-ish.
Right. About the same time as, like, all of the instances are happening where, like, you know, there's uprisings, there's people freaking out, having visions. They find the ship, the Emma, with just one guy, Norway guy?
Yeah, Norwegian guy.
Norwegian. I was like, what do they call them? With him just alive, with one of his crewmen's dead in there, and then no one else alive. And they're kind of don't really know what happened. He didn't really say much of anything.
I think they were on the Alert, weren't they? Because they started out on the Emma.
Oh, and then hopped onto the Alert after. And our narrator ends up going all the way to Norway to kind of figure out what happened. Is there more to it why he was so intrigued with that specific story? Was it just the time and place?
I think it's a time and place, and that our narrator starts to get kind of freaked out because all these things are sort of lining up. And he just stumbled upon this newspaper article, and he's like, oh, this is like the exact time and date of all this other stuff. So he's just getting kind of worried. I think he finds
like the newspaper on his great uncle's like where he's like clipping all these newspaper articles, and it's almost like he didn't get to it before he got killed.
Yeah, sort of like off to the side.
They're trying to like prevent him from like getting it, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to go into what he finds when he gets to Norway.
Sure. So he goes to Norway to talk to this the second mate who was one of the survivors, and his widow shows up and is like, "Oh, he actually died. He got knocked down by a bundle of papers falling from an attic."
Yeah, and I
he
think
died.
they put it. Well, it's like the same thing that happened to the great uncle.
Yeah,
where
accident.
It was like, but there was also some sort of minority people there that probably actually did it, but he was like chalked up to like a poor constitution from his interactions. And
yeah.
So yeah, it's just like it does seem like this cult is finding people who know a little bit too much, who aren't on their side, and taking them out. But he's able to convince the widow to give the Norwegian guy's like documents that he wrote, his journal about what happened.
Yeah.
Which he wrote in English.
So his widow wouldn't be able to read it.
Which is such a...
It's kind of a dick move.
Yeah, but I was just like, as a writer, it's like, people are going to be like, why didn't he write it in Norwegian? And it's like, because he didn't want his wife to know.
Exactly.
So shut up, readers. Yeah, I'm smart.
So this document, yeah, it's like well, he's not the captain. It's like his log of the events. So they start off on the Emma, and they get blown off course and come across the Alert somewhere. I
think it's New Zealand.
It might be around New Zealand.
Did you just read it?
I did, but I don't know exactly.
Oh, okay.
We can find out. Pause. Put in some hold music.
Yeah, so it looks like, according to those lat long that we just looked up, it is Southern Pacific Ocean, far off the coast of South Africa and South America and east of New Zealand. So kind of in that Pacific area.
Yeah. So they come across the Alert, and which is again crewed by some minorities, and they tell the Emma to turn around. The Emma says no, so the Alert just starts firing on the Emma for no reason. And the crew of the Emma managed to get on board and kill all of the crew members of the Alert.
Is that really what happens?
Yes.
I literally listened to it again yesterday. Completely missed that. I
Really?
thought they just crashed or something.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So was it like the Alert was trying to...
Keep them away, basically.
Because they were trying to summon?
Yes.
Ah.
So they get on the Alert and they come across this island. There's like a storm. There's like a huge storm, and then they come across like this big island, rocky thing.
Yeah, and it's like they call it like green, like mossy rock, slimy. That doesn't like none of the dimensions make sense. I think of it as like is it MC Escher?
Yeah,
painting
Escher's.
Where like none of the things make any sense. And then I never understood because there was like a part where it's like an angle looked like a cute, but it acted like obtuse, and I'm like, what does that even mean?
I thought,
how does an angle act like what is he looking at? Like I've never been like that angle is up. Like is it like a wall where it's like the wall looks like it's like acute, but it acts like it's obtuse? Is that what he's trying to say?
I don't know. I think you can't fathom what it looks like, because at one point he says he wasn't sure if the sea and the sky were horizontal anymore. So geometry is like
doesn't
super
exist.
Weird and wonky.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny, they come across this like huge like trapdoor type looking thing.
So they fall in.
And they're like, let's open it. So
They do.
There's like some sort of hidden mechanism. And they open it, and it's just like this big black pit that smells horrible. And then there's this like, you can add sound effects here, like slurping noise.
Slurping?
Like, slurping.
Because Cthulhu, that's Cthulhu comes out there,
yes,
right?
he just comes out.
He instantly kills like 2 people.
Yeah.
And I don't, do they talk about how big he is? Like
they say he's like a mountain.
Yeah.
Like he's huge.
I don't know why, but I think of just like giant Clayface. Is that right, face?
Who?
Is it Clayface?
Who's that?
Is that Batman?
Maybe
I'm thinking of the wrong villain. If I remember, I'll put in what I'm talking about here. It's just kind of like a big goo man.
Oh, yeah.
But he's like tentacly. But yeah, he kills like 2 people instantly.
Just picks them up and
just like kills them. And then
they start running away.
I don't know how they outrun a mountain, but apparently they do.
I think he's sort of like, he's been sleeping for thousands and thousands of years.
Oh, he's groggy?
So he's sort of like, bro, what year is it, dude?
Is it 0? I went to bed at 0.
Exactly. So one of the crew, he falls into a weird angle that wasn't behaving well, and so he dies, presumably.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 of them make it back onto the alert. And one of them goes insane.
And then a big storm hits.
Well, hold on.
Oh, what? There's something else happens?
Yeah. So they start steaming away. It's a steamship. So they start steaming away. And Cthulhu starts swimming after them. Like Godzilla -1.
Exactly.
And so they're freaking out. The one guy goes mad. So the Norwegian turns the ship around and steams directly into Cthulhu, slices it in half, but then it starts to kind of reform.
Yeah, so he saved the world.
He does, yes, pretty much. So they do manage to escape. And then, so that's the Norwegian guy's thing. And there's a huge storm.
Yeah, I listened to it twice, and I still, it's like this all-powerful being, but, a steam engine ship from 1925 can cut him in half.
But he reforms.
He's starting to reform, but then Relay starts sinking into the ocean and takes him with it? I don't understand this. He got out. Shouldn't he just reform and then go destroy the world? It's like, people love this. So maybe I'm missing this, so if anyone's listening to this and it's like, actually, you missed this line where it says this. This is it's horrible. The end of this book.
What?
It doesn't make any sense. They hit him with a boat.
Yeah.
And then he splits in half.
Yeah.
Right? And then he's reforming.
Yeah.
And then because he's the size of a mountain, his little tiny island sinks. And he goes back in his hole?
I guess so.
Or is it the stars unaligned? So
maybe,
he has to
maybe the stars
gets
unaligned.
Sucked back in?
Dalton.
I don't get it.
Maybe he can't swim.
I don't get it.
So
it really throws me off. I like the first half of this, and then this really gets me.
Yeah, I get it.
But to finish it off, our narrator is listening to reading this on the ship back to London, and he's just like, all right, they're gonna kill me. I don't know how much long I have.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is his testimony that he's writing for someone else to read.
Yeah,
is that what
he
we
puts
kind of
it
assume?
back. He puts it in the end. This whole, basically the story that we read. He puts it in the box with all the other stuff.
Yeah. So someone else will find it eventually, and then.
But he's like, yeah. There's a couple times where he's like, or I think one time when he's on the ship back and he's finishing the document that he's writing, and he's like, the sound of the waves and makes me think about just killing myself right now.
Yeah, it's like
damn.
Okay, yeah, they're pretty. This is gonna sound really weird, but I feel like this was written so long ago that they didn't really have horror or scary movies or anything like that, where a big goo man coming from the ocean seems super terrifying and scary. But it's not really today. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Well, it's also if you read more Lovecraft, his stuff isn't just the goo man's a kaiju. It's basically humans.
It's something you can't understand or fathom.
And
a power.
humans don't mean anything. There's things out there that were just completely insignificant in the universe.
So does he talk a lot about gods and stuff? Because on his Wikipedia it talks about, he has a whole section about how he was an atheist.
So they're not gods per se. It's not fantasy. They're just things.
Creatures that have this are they omniscient, or are they just super powerful creatures that bring debauchery and...
So it depends.
That depends on what the god is.
On which one it is.
So does he have other books talking about Cthulhu specifically?
He is mentioned in some other ones.
Gotcha, but this is
This is his book.
So is there ones about specifically other gods?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I think there's one called... There's a short story that's super, super short. I think it precedes this one, called Nyarlathotep. And that's about Nyarlathotep, who is the prophet of the crawling chaos, Azathoth, who lives in the center of the universe.
I think I've heard of that name.
Azathoth?
Before. Yeah.
Yep. So Azathoth's he's the demon sultan. He's the big one. And he's just an amorphous thing.
I'm just starting to realize that a lot of the games and fantasy stuff that I read, all the names are taken from there's demons and stuff, and it's Mal'Ganis and stuff like that. And I'm they're just kind of taking it from Lovecraft way of naming things, just how all dwarves are Scottish.
Yeah, right.
From Tolkien.
Right. Yeah. Or elves and stuff.
Yeah, all fancy. The tropes for old gods are they're all that guttural stops, apostrophe type things.
It's all from Lovecraft. So he was very influential, and this is a very influential story. And I love Lovecraft.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy to me that he was not popular at all. No one knew who the hell he was until he died.
I know.
Until, like, not even when he died, but it was like 40 years after he died in, like, the 70s and 80s.
Then he started getting like, more popular.
Yeah, so I don't know if they just found some of those old Pulp Fiction magazines or whatever and started publishing them. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, but and I think some of his friends, like Clark Ashton Smith, I don't know if you've heard of him. He's a big science fiction author. He lived much longer than Lovecraft, but he was his friend, so I think he also kind of helped
to get his stuff
more popular. Yeah.
But so is this like the most popular book?
Probably, I think so, of Lovecraft.
But
Call of Cthulhu.
So
there's also The Mountains of Madness. That's a pretty well-known one, I think.
Gotcha.
That's a good. That one has to do with Shoggoths.
Yeah, so he does. he has a theme. He does.
He does. Yes.
So what would you? I mean, you've read this multiple times over years. Like, is this new one like this? When's the last time you read it for this podcast?
Probably like 6 years ago.
So did you like get anything new from it, or like new thoughts or anything, or you still like it as much as you thought?
I do.
When you read the Starfish, right?
Yeah.
Because didn't you say you didn't like it as much as you read it?
I don't think so.
Okay, maybe
I did like that one.
I didn't know if you.
It was the Michael Crichton one. Oh. It was Micro. I did not like Micro as much the second time.
Gotcha. But this to you like held up from 6 years ago when you first read it?
Just because I really like it. But I mean, it's a little, because I've read so much of his other stuff, you know, I can definitely be like, I can see all of his sort of
flaws,
his tropes and patterns, and like, he's pretty predictable in his stories.
This is going to be a weird analogy, but is it how I like Biggie Smalls, but I don't really like any of like the big songs? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Like Hypnotize or Big Poppy or whatever. I don't really like those, but I like the other songs, right?
That's fair.
Is this how you view Call of Cthulhu, where you're like, this is the most popular one, everyone knows it, but I kind of like the more obscure ones.
I do think he has other ones are better.
But this is the most popular.
This is probably the most popular. Yeah.
I think I hyped it up too much because I feel like this is such a big piece of literature that everyone knows about, and I've never read it. I thought it would be better.
That's fair. I mean, it was written, you know.
I honestly thought the second chapter, where they're talking more about Legault and the police force thing, was more interesting than most of it. And I also felt like the narrator, I don't know if he's in other books, like this specific narrator.
No.
This felt like a self-insert. Like, the narrator guy is him.
A lot of them are like that. It just seemed
so pretentious. Yeah. Which I think really fits how Lovecraft looked at himself. Like, very full of himself.
I don't think he was. I think he thought he was shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I feel like the narrator was, like, very much like, well, now I'll be the best archaeologist ever. Yeah. And it's like, my dumb dead uncle will give me all the power.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm talking like Alan from Smiling Friends.
You do.
But, okay, so maybe I was wrong with that.
Yeah, no, because I think Lovecraft is, like, in some of his letters and stuff, he was like, my writing sucks, I suck.
Hey,
he was...
HP. It kind of sucked.
Hey.
It was okay.
It was alright. It's alright. It's, I mean, just the influence that he has.
Yeah, and I think it would be, like, also how, like, I'm not a big fan of old movies, because, like, I can't get over how just bad they look.
Yeah.
So, this is just, like, I don't know.
It's an old book.
Yeah, it's like, it's not like it's old, it's like Romeo and Juliet, but, like, I think Romeo and Juliet sucks because I can't read it because it's old English. You know what I mean?
We read Romeo and Juliet in, like, 7th grade.
Yeah, but it's like, you can read it, but it's like, so their grammar structure and how they say words are so different from ours that it just takes you out of it.
Yeah.
Like, some of how he described things were just, like,
definitely
so different to what we do now that it's hard. It, like, kind of takes you out of the story.
Yeah, that's fair. It's kind of harder to understand.
He just had just even, like, the archaic ways of, like, referring to people from, like, different areas. Like, they called people from, like, the Levant, and it's like, do you know what the Levant is?
No.
That's like Israel, like Syria, like kind of Mesopotamia, Levant area.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, who the hell says that? So it kind of takes you out of it. Like, it's harder to, like, suspend disbelief when you're, like, hearing stuff. You're like, this is from, like, we're closer to the... Oh, I guess we're closer to war. I was going to say Civil War, but no, it's closer to, like, World War II.
Yes.
But Yeah, we usually rank it, but I don't know. We're going to get to the point where we have so many books that it's like...
hard to rank.
How to rank them.
Well, we can still do it now.
Yeah, I guess we keep everything the same. We should have them written down somewhere we can just slide them in, because
that's true.
I think we've done... I don't know where I put the Infinite and Divine from last time. I can actually find the video real quick. Pause.
Okay.
Unpause. Okay. I found the list, so we're going to go ahead and add it to our list. If people are doing it at home, like, I'll put it on the screen here so you can see it.
Yep.
And if people are also reading these books along, it'd be interesting to see what other people's lists are. So if you're making them, put them down in the comments so that way we can see how other people... Because maybe everyone's, like, some people's favorite book is Micro. Because so far, Micro's dead last on both our lists. So do you want to go first?
Sure. Yeah, so I think still favorite Starfish. I love that book. 2 is probably still Children of Time. I think this would be 3.
So 3. So you'd go...
This is like a 3, a close 2.
So Annika's would be Starfish, Children of Time, Call of Cthulhu, Infinite and Divine, and then Micro.
Yeah.
So my list is about the same as yours. I don't have the connection to Starfish as you do. I almost said you guys do, because apparently everyone who watches this loves him.
Everyone loves Peter Watts.
Woo!
Peter Watts fan club. Woo!
Yeah. I've told you that he responded to your email. We should try to get him on the podcast.
Oh my god.
He would never do it.
I don't know.
Isn't he not allowed in this country?
He's not allowed in the US.
We'll have to do it remotely.
Well, I don't think we'd invite him to Wisconsin.
I know, but I was just saying. I just thought about that. That he's not allowed in America. That's just a fun fact.
Yeah, fun fact.
So I had Children of Time, Infinite and Divine, Starfish, and Micro. I'd probably put this into 4th place.
Ooh.
So I'd bump Micro down to 5.
Gotcha.
So it'd be Children of Time, Infinite and Divine, Starfish, Call of Cthulhu, Micro.
And Micro.
Yeah, and I think it's really close with Starfish. I like Starfish. It's just weird.
It's super weird.
It's just super weird. I think I just hyped up Call of Cthulhu being this like Lord of the Rings-esque like oh my god, this is literature at its finest. Yeah. And it was like an okay story.
I mean, it was published in pulp magazines.
Right, and this might have been like, if this is like the first time they've done, like if this was like a Godzilla, like the first kaiju movie, it's like, I think maybe this is an equivalent. But like, this is kind of the first time someone really wrote something like this.
Cosmic horror
thing. I don't know if that was a genre before him.
I don't really think so.
But like, so this probably was really groundbreaking at the time, but I've, without even knowing it, been like introduced to all these themes from other things because I've never seen this. So I didn't think it was as good.
That's fair.
We'll see what other people say.
Yeah.
But
do leave a comment. It's been fun to get comments.
Yeah, exactly. Mostly from Peter Watts. I wonder if Peter Watts just has like 800 YouTube accounts, so anytime he sees any of his stuff, it's just him commenting. He's like, more Peter Watts. Well, I want to write a new book. I need engagement.
Yeah, and then he logs into his other YouTube
and then
account.
he like responds to his own comment, but forgets
to
log.
Excellent idea.
But he forgot to log out, so it's the comment from above. It's like, Peter Watts should write more books, and then below it, it's the same account. It's like, yeah, he should, and it's like, oh crap, I forgot to change accounts.
Yeah. But yeah, so what do you want to do next?
I don't know. We have not talked about it at all.
We have not. We could do, okay, what if we say our next, like, maybe not the next one after this, but the one after that. Mm-hmm. The next book after Starfish, if you wanted to.
Oh, so not the next recording?
Yeah,
but
just
the
so you
next
have
one?
time to read it.
Oh, yeah. So not the next podcast we do, but the one after that would be the sequel to Starfish, which is
called Maelstrom.
Maelstrom. Gotcha.
By Peter Watts. So, I don't know, do you want to do a movie or something next?
Oh, we could do like
we haven't done a movie.
Yeah, because we did Short Story. I know we talked about maybe Project Hail Mary as well.
Ooh, yes.
Well, we will think about it, and we will, add something from the future here.
Yeah.
And once we decide what we're going to do.
Yeah, we can put it in the description.
And you guys won't even know.
Wow. Future. The future is now.
The future is now, old man.
Well, with that, thank you for joining us here on the SciClones podcast. It's been great, and I hope everyone enjoyed it. Any more thoughts?
Hi, Peter Watts. If you're watching this, we like your book.
Yeah.
Bye.
And to old HPL,
rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
I guess.
Yeah. Hope he's doing better up wherever he is, or down.
Probably hell.
Wow. Ow! Easy there.